Well, that's a low blow. How's everyone doing today? Just in all the YouTube notifications go out, so there should be people coming to the stream soon enough. Yeah, stream link is also up. Right, Portimao, 14 people in the lobby. It's about what we usually get at this point. Wonder how Tier 4's also doing. No, Tier 4's not that long from going as well. Waiting for a couple of more people to join, I think, in Tier 1. Stell's also about to join me on Commons, but he's currently gone and made a coffee, so be a couple more minutes before you hear his voice today. And meanwhile, I'm going to go and check how many we actually have. It looks like... Alright then. It looks like we are meant to be racing with 15 or 16. Probably waiting on one more. As for who is and isn't driving, so what happened since the last time people seen the stream? Well, Mitchell was crowned champion in the stewards results at the end of Zandvoort. Hello, Said. Yeah, Mitchell was crowned champion at the end of Zandvoort, so he's not here today. Taking the week off. As for who else is here that realistically could do a number? How was your win in Monza? Said, I don't know. I didn't commentate it. I had the day off. I haven't gone back to watch any of the stream or anything like that. Actually, can a Constructors' Championship be won today? That's what I want to know. BR4 and... Wait, is BR4 and Heidelberg driving? Or is it only one or the other? Okay, so it is only BR4 driving versus Elite. So one of each. The standings currently see it as going into 41 points. Technically get, what, 44 on our weekend. On any given race, sorry. You get 44, then essentially Elite would have to beat BR4 by enough, I think. However, that was standings from before Zandvoort Stewards, which was impacted by Heisenberg dropping down to 8th as a result of a penalty.
All right, I'm back, Pyro.
There you go. We're just about to load in to qualifying. I thought we're going with 16.
Sounds good. Are you live?
Yep. Been live for the last few minutes. Went up pretty much immediately after you went to go and get coffee.
Cool. Oh, so we have 16 people today. I thought it was going to be less than that.
Yeah, we're just basically missing like the big players of the title race, which was ended after Stewards.
Yeah.
Everything happened there. Had Heisenberg report the safety car, the direct safety car that ended up helping him stay in it, and then obviously the incidents between you and him deciding the title in the end.
Yeah.
So, who is going to be the first one out? That's the real question. It looked like Staber. Gonna on the stream watch the first person out the pits, watch their out lap, and then their flying lap if they are the first one over the line. Who else is out the pits right now? It's Samet directly behind Staber here. I believe it is. Still, who do you think's winning this race?
Who do I think they will win? You said?
Yeah. Who do you think's winning this?
I'm in between Big Bambino and BR4. I mean,
That's fair.
Yeah, Joe could win as well, but he spins a lot.
I was about to say that I was going to put my money on Joe, provided his car stays on the track for the entire race. Because if it does, then I don't think there's a lot of people, if anyone, that will stop him, especially around here. But
yeah, but definitely, I think he's the quickest from all these guys today.
Yeah, I do also think that there is a possibility of a Constructors' Championship going to the final race after this. So we'll need to look out for BR4 versus Elite at some point during this race, but I don't actually have an updated standings because Boomer hasn't done them, which is fun.
Let me go and check the standings. I have no idea what's going on with the constructors.
Going pre-stewards before Zandvoort was 41. However, Heidenberg dropped a decent chunk of points because his 5-second penalty dropped him from 4th to 8th. I believe it was 8th anyway, after everything that happened.
Red Bull right now has 206 points, and the Haas has 165. So they're definitely fighting this. And Mitchell not being here today, they have good chance of closing the gap a lot.
It would require him and BR4 and Heisenberg to race the last race as well. Oh, Staber almost losing the car there on the second to last. What time is Staber going to actually do here? 15, 16, 17. It's not going to be impressive. It's 19-1.
19. What do you think the pole time is going to be, Pyro?
Well, I'm seeing people say that they've done 16s.
Well,
I think that's vindicated.
With, 73.
I was about to say. I think I might be vindicated with that statement immediately. I don't think that stays at 73. Something there's a couple more attempts left in that. I'll go 16-8.
16-8?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say too. That's what I think it's going to be.
I beat you to it. I know. If you wanted to say 16, I'll say 67. Then that way it'll go different. Who's
Sounds
yellow
good.
flag in sector 1? Well, who's the Haas? Oh, it's BR4. Wait, BR4's had a problem there. I'm not entirely sure what
Yeah,
the
I didn't see
problem
what
is.
happened,
He's now
but
pulling out
he's
of the way.
okay. He's not.
Yeah, car has.
Here,
Oh,
he almost. Yeah.
is
Was that
Alu's
a lit?
also. Alu's gone as well up the hill. That's a problem for many people in this race. I think that up the hill is just a nightmare if you get it wrong. If you put too much throttle down.
Yep. You can lose easily half second over there.
Oh, easily, if not the entire car. I've seen that happen many
Exactly.
times before.
Yeah, I think it's one of the worst exits out of a corner in this game.
You might be right with that one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing this on Sunday because I've won every time I've actually come here in a 50% race.
Really?
Yeah, I won both the attempts that I've done at this track. Oh, Irma's
I
done it.
I never won in Portugal, but I've gotten podiums.
Yeah. I can't actually remember who's won the other 2 tier 1 visits to Portimao, but I'm not entirely not going to go and find that out right now. Yeah, I'll lose span. As of right now, it looked like Joe's in a world of his own.
Yeah.
Only half a second.
Yeah, half a second ahead.
It's half a second directly to third.
I want to see actually what BR4 and Step By is gonna do. I think BR4 is on a lap right now.
I'll have a look at what BR4 is doing. Yeah, he is. He's 17 seconds down on what he was doing on his prior lap, which means because he's spanning the first sector, so always going to be an improvement on the 139. Alu on a 137 as well. Need to go out and do another one.
Yeah, I think Alu is right behind him.
Yeah, Staber, however,
Alu's
oh no, I'm about to say Alu's not behind him anymore. Saw the car come to a halt on the minimap there to watch BR4. Currently
BR4 says that he has purple sector 2.
Yeah, but
I don't know if that's right though, because I saw him missing an apex that definitely cost him a lot of time over there.
Yeah, the game very often hands out purple purple sectors.
But let's see what BR4 is going to do.
Staber just did his bank with 36 laps of fuel. I'm pretty sure that the end of that sentence is going to say, well, that would explain the 19 flat then.
yeah, I think that was actually a right purple sector because BR4 did a 385, just a few hundreds of a second away.
Fair enough. The BR4 is going to come in a minute. Who's left out right now? I think there's Yalo. Yeah, we'll do Yalo. Watch the rest of his lap. But yeah, Staber is one of those where it's either go big or go home. And
I know, he's always like that.
Yeah, Staber either usually is a podium or a DNF or last or something of that nature. And you never know which Staber you're getting until like right at the end of the race, because he could be comfortably out in front and then God, that's it.
Yeah.
Is Bambino on a lap right now? It looked like he is.
He hasn't put a lap yet.
It looked like he's just gone out for his first one. Do see the ERS ticking down as well, so I think he might be. Again, the purple, the game showing a purple sector, but how reliable that is, we'll never know. Wait and see until the end of the lap, whether one even keeps it valid. Up this hill here is a little bit of a nightmare. As well, you get it wrong, you're spinning right back down the hill. Then you've got this corner here. Oh, looked like he lost the car a little bit there, but not too much.
That happens a lot on that specific exit, but you almost never lose a car over there. You have that snap, but it's easy to correct. I don't think he lost a lot of time over there.
Fair enough. Around the final corner, not too far behind that Alfa Romeo. We won't get a tow from him though, and it's going to be... I think
that's provisional pole.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Over a tenth of a second split him and Joe, so I guess we are going back and forth for the two people that we pointed out at the beginning. Who
Yeah.
else is out? Oh,
All
I'd
three
say
of
who
them,
else is out.
actually.
The rest of the entire rest of the grid is the answer to that question.
Terminator is about to. He's actually in the second sector on his first attempt.
Yeah, coming down the same place as we watched Bambino from. Also watching him here. Let's see. I don't think I'm expecting to see a lot from because is usually a guy that only drives well in tracks in the Middle East for some reason. Literally, it's just Abu Dhabi, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia. That's the only ones I know
You were
can
right.
even do. Yeah, I'd about to say. Oh, we
Only
right on the
18.6.
right on the back of Rigo.
Yep, just 1,000
Staber,
of a second.
one entire second up. Currently on for about a 79, given depending on how well he can do this
1
final
second
sector.
it's not gonna be enough to be
Make him on top
probably in the first 10.
six-ish. I'd about to say it's probably a
Yeah.
top six-ish time with an extra second off, depending on how well he's done this final sector. He's over the line, 16, 17, 73.
It's a good time.
It's a
He
very
goes
good
third.
time. BR4 also doing an outlap. We could go on there. Because I'm the only car in front of him. Wait, which McLaren is this?
Jacko?
No, it's Jag. That's
no,
going around the second to last now.
I think that Jag is not on quick lap.
Oh, he's not. He looked like he's spun, but I don't know if he's setting up to go on one now. And
Yeah,
that's
it
the
looks
case.
like
We'll watch it.
he uses the battery. The thing is that on this track you don't have enough battery to go back-on-back laps. Back-to-back laps.
You saw he started with about 60% worth of ARS, and I think he might run out very quickly, if not the end of his lap.
Yeah, he's already at 35%.
Yeah, I wonder how many DNS we're getting, because over the last couple of weeks, I thought we might get a bunch of DNS and a bunch of safety cars, but
yeah,
I say we didn't have much. The Zandvoort race is the exception, not the rule. I looked, Joe, 17.18, so I guess they are going to go back and forth. It's just a case of which one gets the last lap.
I think so. I honestly, it wasn't a very good lap for a second try from Joe. I think that the other guys are gonna do a better second try.
Yeah, BR4 just about gone his. I think Jack is on his as well. But we saw Staber do his
is
second.
68. BR4 is 68 thousandths of a second quicker.
It's not enough.
And 125 on the second sector, so it's getting close.
He's getting close, but he's not even enough to get past Bambino at the moment. Here comes Jag, who is actually going into the pits. So we are going to watch the rest of BR4's lap. Yeah, about an eighth of a second up right now. You're going over the line. You were right.
And
there you go.
There you have it.
0.3 of a second up. BR4 trying to push the needle here for Haas, even though he can't do anything in the title anymore.
Actually, he had a crazy exit out of the last corner. Very good exit. And I think that's where he gained about 0.2 of a second.
Fair enough, fair enough. Alu coming over to do a lap, I think. Just about to start a lap. Yeah, he's just about to start a lap. Jaguar needs to...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he did a 2:02 or something on the outlap. Or, well, might have been a failed flying lap, but either way, it wasn't impressive, let's say that. Got about 60% ERS, and there you go. Yeah, you can tell it's a proper flying lap. Already a 1/10 of a second up, albeit a 1/10 of a second. What gets him 2 positions at most, depending where J-Ray goes. Considering I think J-Ray is further along his lap, I'm not entirely sure.
It looks like he's on a flying lap, but he's 0.2 up. I mean, down on his previous lap.
And Alu is now
I don't think he's...
about 1/3 of a second up. And the game is going to show purple in the second sector yet again, which I think we can confidently say isn't true. As much as I like Alu, his season has not gone well at all, and I don't think it's about to turn now. It goes
Let's
up to the
see.
line. 18-1.
18.1. Not a bad lap, I gotta say.
It might be, that might be a decent lap if you go down a tier, maybe. Maybe a top 5 lap. Come tier 2 on Sunday night. I assume Yala's coming into the pits. Jag is now the only one out on the track doing anything, but he's currently on an
he's
outlap.
on an outlap.
I assume Alu's going in.
I don't know if Alu has a time to do another run.
It's gonna be close. Bearing in mind 118.
It is gonna be close.
You need to get out with about maybe about 2 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna be close. I don't know how he does it. Like even in the previous lap, previous race, he did the same thing, and I think he got it at the end. He had enough time to go for another run, but this is gonna be very, very tight.
Yeah, he's definitely playing with fire a little bit, I think. It looks like Elite's about to come out of the pits as well, so we might get a round 3 between Haas and Red Bull for the rest of the qualifying session. But for now, anyway, we're going to watch Jag do his outlap. Well, outlap and then flying lap, because he's the closest one to it. This is definitely Jag's last shot, that's for sure.
All right.
He's going to... 8th hits about 205 mile an hour going into the first turn. It's up to 7th gear. You see, that's the one thing I don't fully understand when it comes to tracks. I feel like where I'm probably lacking is the understanding of which gear to be in each corner. Talk to some of the tier 1 guys, and obviously they do things a lot different, and that's why they're a lot quicker.
I think that it works differently for many people. I mean, I've seen a lot of people doing similar laps with many differences on how they shift, how they apply the power, the brakes, everything. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I gotta see what you're doing to kind of maybe understand what you can do better, but usually it works like in different ways.
That's fair. Also, while we were talking about gearing on a laugh round part about, Jag looked like he completely screwed up his realistic last shot at it. So Jag's not going to really start anything higher than 12th. I don't think he's going to start 12th, though.
No, I think he's going to go for another try, no?
He's... maybe.
Yeah, he
might just
he has 70% ERS.
Yeah.
He can definitely improve with that, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, he's starting right now.
Yeah, fair enough. And Samet's also on Samet. That means Samet's the closest to the line right now. He's bundled up in all the traffic. I feel kind of sorry with his lap because he's been caught up by, well, not been caught up, but caught up to everyone else and gets a toe over the line, but it's not going to be that impressive, I don't think. About 3/10 quicker, it's 8th.
I think BR4 is, no, he's starting his lap right now, but I know that Bambino started first, and right behind him is Joe.
Yeah. Bambino currently on a lap that isn't quicker. Elite's out. Elite's out. Where's that? Second to last corner?
I didn't see what happened. Yeah, probably he spun over there.
Yeah, he's done something there. I think he just spun and realized
DNF over there?
I think he might have just spun and realized that's the end of his quali, I think. There's another McLaren that's had a problem as well. I don't know if that's which McLaren that is, but I think that's the end of his qualifying too, bearing in mind that everyone that goes over the line now is done. J-Ray could only muster an 18.6. That's the end of his qualifying. 2 McLarens about to go over the line as well and not really
Bambino
improve.
Is about to finish his lap, but I don't think that he's improving. He's
got into the pits. The Alfa Romeo gets out of the way by a long way.
Joe didn't. I think he had a problem on the last corner, so he's retiring as well.
Yeah, and Mildsy didn't get that much better. Staber's still there. BR4 spun it. BR4 invalidated and BR4 span it, so
Okay, so I think only Seba can
yeah,
turn
it's
things
stable
around.
left. It's stable left. Summit
Oh,
already
Seba
on the
is out
lap.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, and
All
stable can't
right.
get there
So I
either,
think
so yeah, that's it.
now Summit is invalidated as well. I think this is it.
BR4 knows it's it. That's it.
And
Rigo's the only one.
Alu couldn't improve his time.
Yeah, I've said that earlier on, though. Alu's season has been going from bad to worse, I think might be the nicest way to sum up Alu's season. Another...
Yeah, I mean, he said that he doesn't have the time anymore to actually practice. Like he does a couple laps on time trial before the race, and that's it for him. I mean, he's not doing very bad on the races, but you know, I know him, and I know that he could have been way higher.
If you just put the proper effort in. That's fair. I get a lot of... I know that feeling myself where it comes to not being good at a qualifying session. I don't have the pace over one lap either, so... I know that feeling. Look at that difference, though. You get through the top maybe 4 or 5, then you get with the half-second split, and then you just start chunking time after that. Middle of the pack looks relatively like close together. Maybe a packed race coming in the middle, but that's about it for us today, I think.
Yeah. Well, I believe that we're gonna see many battles today. Like you said, the probably 4 or 5 people in the front. They're gonna be very tight, and then we're gonna have a massive pack in the middle that they're gonna fight for positions.
Yeah, there's always going to be, also with the fact that turn 1 is as narrow as it is, almost 90 degrees.
It is.
We might be in for a couple of crashes off the start.
Yeah.
And yeah, it could
I gotta
be...
say, we were a little optimistic about the pole lap time.
Yeah, I genuinely thought we might have had a 16. The way the people were talking about it in Tier 1 chat beforehand seemed that they would be confident they could do it, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if they didn't invalidate or, you know, lose the car in their last run, they would definitely go in the 16s.
Yeah, no, it's... BR4 and Joe definitely had more in the tank, I think. I think Bambino might have as well, but...
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. Maybe, well, BR4 just gave up after he realized that nobody could beat him. But
so?
Yeah, I think BR4 was driving that lap thinking that he didn't really have to put an awful lot in, because I don't think he was seeing what was going on between Bambino and Joe directly in front of him, and as soon as you see that, I don't really think you have to worry about it. Jesus Christ, BR4, that's not a precursor. Go deep in turn 1. We've got Haas and, well, neither of us had BR4 on pole after getting qualified. Neither of us thought that would happen. We were 2nd and 3rd, guys. But BR4 and Joe on the front row. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I don't know, because BR4 and Joe are starting on the hards, and then step on the hards. After that, almost everybody else starts on the mediums, and it's only Terminator that is gonna start on the softs. I don't know why, but we'll see how that goes.
He's got a plan. I don't know what that plan is.
I mean, it's not. This track is very soft on the tire, so I think you can do a soft hard potentially, but I don't think it's the right strategy to go for. And 2 pits, I think is gonna be too much.
That seems to be the case on like a majority of the tracks here, where it's just a flat, probably medium hard like kind of strategy. If you do anything else, you're putting yourself out there. But It's
Yeah.
one of these races where I don't know. I'm not entirely sure a safety car is likely. I mean, you probably get one at turn 4, probably most likely unlikeliest place. But that could influence a lot.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it did at Zambot, for example, where we had a couple of things change after the safety cars that we had. It looked like Jack jumped his grid spot. I don't understand. We're in the middle of predicted pit stop, soft hard. That's what you're getting at. But yeah, I don't understand how we can be at this point of the game and still be jumping grid spots.
I don't know either.
I feel like,
Anyways,
right, here we go. There's 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out, away we go. Who's getting a better start? Looks like BR4 may have had a little bit of wheel spin there. And where'd Bambino come from? We've got a couple of people here. Into turn 1, flying. Staber on the inside as well. Joe and BR4 going deep. Jack also going to the inside of turn 2. And there's a spin already. Someone's already gone. I think it might have been Samet. He dropped to the back. It was Samet.
Yeah, it was Summit.
Yeah. To the
But
back he goes.
everybody went very clean in the first
Oh,
turns.
we've got a hit! We've got a hit! It looked like a couple of people there. Oh my god, what's happened in this hairpin? It looked like Elite tried to get himself in the middle of 2 cars there and shoved Yarlo off.
Well,
What?
as soon as I said that, everybody was very clean at the start.
Yeah,
I
Alu's been
think
spun
somebody
around.
spun
He was clipped, but on the outside by Yarlo on the way through. But Jesus
BR4
Christ!
is 11th. What happened to
What
him?
the hell
I didn't
happened to
see.
BR4? Yeah, no, good
Yeah.
point. Good point.
Big Bambino already over 2 seconds away from Joe. But
Very
I would
much.
like to know what happened to BR4.
We were to get in 2 caught. I think he might have got clipped by the incident between Elite and Yarlo through the hairpin.
Were they right behind him?
I think so. I think they ended up
Okay.
cutting the corner and might have come in and clipped him, but I'm not entirely sure. Jack just got up to second. I'm actually going to go to that battle on stream now. It looks like Joe's holding him off, though, a little bit. Just about gets away with
Yeah,
it.
he did the switchback on him.
Yeah, and then you've got... Oh, yellow flag in sector 1, and there we go!
Seba.
We knew it was coming! He'd always go big or go home. He was big off the start, in the wall off the second lap, and I think things have gone back to a sense of normality here for Staber. After what was such a commanding start to the season. It looked like he might have been in a title fight. There's just inconsistency with not knowing which Staber you're going to get day to day is definitely driven him far away from that. He hasn't had a great second half of the season, that's for sure. Still got Joe and Jack fighting with Bambino well in the distance.
Yep, and this I think that it's gonna hurt him both because if they keep fighting, they're both gonna lose time from Bambino. So
Yeah.
I mean, if Jack was quicker, I think that Joe has to let him go and just follow. Maybe stay behind him with the DRS.
It would be a good
we'll see
shout,
what's gonna happen.
but I don't think Jack's able to hold Joe for long enough. That's the problem, that Joe's going to be wanting to go as soon as possible, which on those hard tyres isn't a great idea. The hard starting probably wasn't a great idea either.
No, I think that starting on the hards is the right call. Because the mediums on this track, they actually do more laps than the hards. Not that they do more, but they're more effective for more laps. So Joe is gonna actually probably pit earlier than Babino, honestly.
Fair enough. I
we'll
did
see.
not
We'll
know
see.
that. I would not have assumed that. I thought it was just a case of base a safety against a safety car or not. Get an early safety car, I don't think.
Well, that
Joe's in a
too,
great
but
place.
also hard to mediums is always the fastest strategy in this game.
Yeah. It's just not one that works out often enough, especially in league races, mainly because if people get together off the start and you might get a lap 1 or a lap 2 safety car, and
Yeah.
as soon as that happens, well, there's the case of, well, that's the end of that strategy.
Yeah.
Unless you're saved by then a very fortunate late safety car, but I don't think we're getting an awful lot of that today.
No, honestly, I was expecting more action.
Yeah, I think as well. Staber getting past we're getting a little bit of action. Oh, there goes into the wall and lost his front wing as well. As soon as I went onto his POV on stream, he's just binned it off of turn 4. And, well, that's the end of his race, without a safety car at the very least.
Yeah. Too bad for him.
It's with that soft gamble. It very clearly hasn't paid off. But, shame for him it's not Bahrain or Saudi Arabia. He might have actually stood a chance at that point. BR4 hasn't been able to make his way up the grid as much as I thought he would. He's still in
I don't know
10th.
if he has any damage or something. I don't think so, because he's also on the hard, so it's difficult to go on a move.
Yeah, that is true.
All these guys in front of him are on mediums, and it's a DRS train, so it's not going to be easy for him.
That's fair. That is very fair. He's trying to defend from Summit at the moment, I think. Summit directly behind him is going to give him a push down into turn 1. Doesn't actually get the move done, or even attempt the move, but we've got a little bit of a train forming directly in front, and there's getting 5 seconds for spinning in the pit lane, and quite frankly, I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw retired pop up at the bottom of our screen.
Stepa is fighting with Jaguar, and he has the DRS right now. He's trying the outside over there, probably for a switchback now.
Yeah, you're right. That's very good call, but it's not done. Who's that? Who's this in front? Has had a bit of a nightmare.
That's J Ray.
He's had a bit of. Oh, there goes Staber down the inside. Is he going to pull this off? That's a very ambitious move, but it's not stuck. It's not stuck. No.
There is not a lot of traction on the inside over there, but it was still a very good attempt.
He's also got Alu directly behind him. We might turn this into a freeway in the very, very near future, especially down the straight. I think Jaguar might be turning into a sitting duck at this rate. Yeah, you go through here and DRS is going to open. He needs to get inside that second, otherwise he's going to be a sitting duck. I think he might actually be inside that second. Yeah, he is 9/10. Is his wing going to open? His wing is going to open, yeah. What about Jacko?
Look at the speed on Steba. He didn't even use his battery that much.
He probably, should have to get past there, to be honest. Never mind, he's going here.
Again, no, because Jaguar has the inside again.
Yeah.
Wow. Good battle between them.
It's something we've been missing in Tier 1 a lot of good battle in the freeway now. Alu down the outside.
Alu's going to pass both of them. Wow.
Alu's got them both, yeah. And Staber on the inside here might have Jaguar as well. A little bit of a tap. And Staber's had pulled alongside Alu for a split second there. And yeah, Jaguar's the biggest loser there, I think. Both of them managed to get round. BR4 closing in on Jacko in front of him, both of them on the hard. So you would expect BR4 to start making some sort of progress. You got past Samet, but
I think he's going to pass Jacko easier because they're at the same tire compound.
Yeah, you're right. And directly behind him, you've got Samet versus Jag going through the main straight, the home straight now. And
yeah, that's going to be an easy pass.
Yeah, Elite gets 3 seconds. Damn.
Gets 3 seconds.
So if Elite gets to 3 seconds, yellow flag in sector 2, who is it? Oh, it's having even more of a nightmare, and he has now been lapped by his teammate.
Oh, wow.
Who currently has a 4-second gap to the lead of the race.
That's a disaster for Terminator.
Might as well go into the pits and retire at this point. There's no way back.
I mean, you never know. What about a safety car? I think the game lets you unlap yourself, no?
No, the game doesn't let you unlap yourself under the safety car now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Unless
yeah,
he's
that's
able to get back in front of Bambino, which at this point is the
yeah,
extreme improbability that's game over for him.
yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah, it
that's
looked
disappointing.
like Stable got in front of Alu as well, by the way. While we were going up towards BR4's battle, Samet gets 3 seconds. Yeah, Stable got past Alu and is trying to fight his way through to J-Ray in front of him, but we'll see how long that
BF4
takes.
is very close to Jacolaka right now. I don't know if he's gonna have a good exit over there. But also Jacko is gonna have the DRS from Adam Milsey.
Yeah, that's
Terminator
true.
retired in the
Yeah, he
pits.
got
Okay.
5 seconds going in as well. It was just not a good day. And there you go. BR4 got him. BR4 got Jacko. Just
Yeah.
about. Still at the inside line. Should be able to make that stick, and he does. That's a pretty good move to the inside, albeit that's helped a lot by DRS. Moved him up to 8th. Yellow flag in sector 1. And that's a Mercedes.
That's
That is Alu. Yep. And his day goes from bad to worse. Yeah, his day goes from bad to worse, and that just sums up his season, I think.
And BR4 very close to Milsey.
Yeah, BR4 is going to make a charge now, I think. He's also got...
On the main straight, I think it's going to be an easy pass as well.
Yeah, I think he's also going to have Yarlo and Elite at some point based on penalties, considering bearing in mind that they both already have track limits.
Don't forget that he's on the hard tires, so he's going to be much quicker on the second stint for him.
Yeah, that is very true. That is very true.
But if I was him, I would definitely hope for a safety car. So that's the only way to get back in the game, to fight for at least a podium.
Yeah, because I think he might be a little bit too far behind Joe and Jack here, who have quite the grip. There's BR4's move on Milsey using DRS, and it doesn't get much easier than that.
Yeah. Now he has a lot of ground in front of him to cover.
He needs to break that.
It's going to be 3 seconds until the next car, which is Yarlo.
Yeah, and he needs to break that gap to Milsey now behind him. Make sure that Milsey can't use the DRS to fight back, otherwise he's just going to start draining time from BR4 to Yarlo. That kind of gap will just start to open up if he doesn't break this second gap. Probably by the end of the lap, he's got to do it by. He's looking pretty good to do it, actually, about 7/10 right now. Also, Joe and Jack are fighting. However, Bambino has a 5-second gap at the lead of the race now, just there and thereabouts. I don't think that's a recoverable gap.
No.
Not without a mistake or two, anyway, or a penalty. That obviously can still happen. Bambino usually has good races and then finds a way to throw it away at the worst possible time.
Yeah.
BR4 did get the second gap that we were talking about to Milsey. That was, I guess, very easily done. Also, Rigo trying to get to Spectre.
It was right on the limit. I think at some point he was over a second, but I think that Jack used all his battery to... Not all his battery, but a good amount just to get in the DRS again. And
yeah.
I think that maybe in the next couple laps, Joe is going to be able to get away, because now I think the tires are at the same level, performance level.
That's fair.
But I think the hards are going to be better in the next couple laps. Probably in this lap as well. Let me see. Yeah, he's already over a second, so...
Yeah, it's looked like he's had a far better second sector than Jack has.
Yep.
A yellow flag in sector 2. It's a McLaren.
That's Jack.
Yep. Yeah, it is. And he's not going to go behind Alu. Oh, Rigo having a bit of a mess going through the beginning of the third sector, the second corner in that third sector. His car did not look like. He caught the car in the end. I got it on the stream, but it didn't look confident. Let's just say that it looked like a mess at the best of times. Someone has. Oh, Staber's got again. Second to last corner. Hello,
Yeah.
Yeah, second to last corner, and he's going to go back to fighting with Alu.
He's gonna get into the pits. There you
And
go.
Alu's going to follow him in. Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah,
Oh
you're
wow.
always going to get your 5 seconds for that. Stay with
Oh,
out.
he retired. He
Yeah,
retired. They
Alu
both
retired as well. So we're down 3. Jacko
That
versus Mildy is actually battle. Is actually the only battle we have left on the track. Down the inside goes Jacko against Mildy. Mediums versus hards. And it looks like the McLaren is going to have that one fairly easily.
Yeah, it looks like the hard tires are working very well right now. Even Joe, I think he got a little bit of time from Big Bambino. I think it was over 5 seconds at some point. Now it's 4.6.
Yeah, he is slowly eating into that time. But I don't think he's doing it quick enough. But he still has 2/3 of the race to get something out of it.
Yeah.
Bambino going to spend a good 9 or 10 laps being caught by Joe when Joe goes onto those medium tires in a short while.
At this point, I think that BR4 might have a chance to fight for third place. He just might.
He might. Yeah, with the penalties. You might be right there. Here comes Jack versus Mildy again. See this battle. And it looked like Mildy went a little bit deep. That's certainly a warning. Also said that it was a season to forget for him, which is definitely also right. Here comes Mildy to the inside of turn 4. And he gets it. Oh, he almost got it until he got a really bad exit. And Jack's just stormed right past.
Actually, he lifted a lot because, as I told you earlier, there's not a lot of grip on the inside on these corners. So Jacko had so much more grip on the outside over there.
Yeah, but he didn't get much more grip out the hairpin, and that allows for Mildy to go straight on by and not really have to worry about him until the end of the lap at the very least. As for the rest of the grid, we've got Jaguar versus J-Ray that seems to be developing as we go along, but it could be the case that something happens there, but we're going to continue watching the battle between Adam and Mildy. Not Adam and Mildy, Jack and Mildy.
I don't know what happened to Joe, but he lost a couple tenths of Bambino.
Yeah, it just
I don't know if he had a bad moment or something.
It might just be the case that Bambino has found a little bit of pace that we weren't accounting for a couple of laps prior. Here comes Jack again to the inside of Mildy. It's not... Well, Mildy got deep into turn 1 again. Surely he can't be that far away from a track limits penalty.
Yeah.
And then Jacko again on the inside of the... Well, he has the outside of turn 4 and the inside of the corner prior, and I don't think Mildy had anything that, he could have done to defend from that. Mildy's going to try the outside here, the hairpin. And again, Jack's just going to do his job. Going to stop him and make sure he can't get on through.
Yeah, Jack positioned his car very, very well and defended on that.
But yeah, it's...
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear.
Oh, okay.
Just, you did go silent for a second there after you were explaining what Jack was doing.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all good. Jacko's cleared about 6 tenths to Mildy since that overtake, though. Since the defending at the hairpin that we were going on about, and into the last couple of corners. I don't think Mildy's going to get this one back.
No, he's not.
I think between them two, I think it's pretty much...
into the pits.
Yeah. It doesn't look like anyone's following the theory that you were going with earlier on, that the mediums would be active for longer than the hards. Seems to be flying in the other direction. Everyone that's on the mediums pitting roundabout now, which means they've got about...
I don't know if they know about it, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, the guys in front, Bambino, Jack, Elite, everybody else is out. Still, I think only Milsey, Samet, and Jack pitted.
Yeah, that's...
So we'll see what everybody else is gonna do.
Jaguar's really going at J-Ray here, by the way, in 9th and 10th. And as soon as we talk about it, J-Ray way too deep into the uphill section of Portimao. And when you do that, then you're always going to get a warning to the outside, and if it's your
Yeah.
third, it's your penalty. And it seems like that was the case for J Ray, who's having well, he's out of his depth here, I think, in tier one. Tier one, having a very clear divide from who is and who isn't quick enough to be here. But also, in comes Yarlow. There's another one of the medium tires not taking the chance to go long. But I think your point might be slowly lapsing, considering Joe's managed to close that into just above 4 seconds now, about 4.2 seconds from what was like 4.7 the last time we saw it, and then now it's under 4 seconds entirely. So maybe Joe might have somewhere, like something to do with this. He might have somewhere to fight at the end, but we'll have to wait and see. And now we just get to the point where, because people have started to pit, we've got no real battles. Half the grid also has penalties. Yellow flag in sector 1.
Yellow flag. I think it's J Ray.
It is. It looked like he'd had a bit of a nightmare off the edge of turn 1.
Was it right when he went out of the pits?
That it might be. He's.
Yeah, I think he has 0 laps on his tires.
He does, yeah. So you would be right in that one. He's just come out the pits and
Bambino goes in the pits. Joe Royal with the fastest
Bambino and
lap so far.
Both going in. All the medium tires are going in. Rigo picked up 5 seconds of speed in the pit lane. So nobody goes with your theory here, Stal.
Yep.
That they go longer than half the race distance. So I think Bambino made the right call, though, because his time to Joe was dropping quite significantly.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the right thing to do. He doesn't want to see that gap closing down too much, you know?
Yeah, if he can keep it above 3 seconds, I think he would love to do so. It looked like
now the thing is, what Joe doing? What do you think that is the right thing to do for him?
You see, I don't know. I feel like he's just hanging in for a mistake at this point. I don't think he's going in early. I feel like he's just gonna hope for Bambino making a mistake. Because if he's seen the last couple of races, Bambino is liable to one of them at the very least.
Yeah.
So if I was Joe, I would be hanging out. Maybe a safety car might impact it if there is to be one.
Yeah, he's still gonna be on the fastest tire as well, because he's gonna pit for the mediums.
Yeah.
The thing is that I don't know how many laps he's gonna stay out for, because then that 3 seconds gap that he was before Bambino pitted, this is gonna grow again, because Bambino now is in fresher tires again.
Yeah, and it'll.
So I don't know.
Again, when Joe pits, so I think if I'm Joe, I might go to maybe lap 20 and go 13 on there.
Honestly, I would pit right now.
Really? There's a yellow
but then
flag.
we have a yellow flag, Jacko Lacko.
Yep, same thing that happened. I think it might have been a bit too much throttle out of turn 4, and if we're getting a safety car, it'll be a DNF there. That corner is absolutely lethal. And, well, we've seen it already.
Yeah.
Staber had his tyre pressures way too high, and I'm assuming the overheating tyres is what was causing the spins. Forgot to turn them down after quali. Oh, that's... Yeah. Ouch. Ouch indeed. Bambino currently third after his pit stop, so he didn't lose that much. He's quite significantly ahead of Jack.
Yeah.
About, 7.5 seconds splitting, maybe even more splitting the three of them. Also, still got a bunch of people with penalties. Elite, Rigo, Yarlo, Samet, J-Ray all having penalties. There goes Bambino with the fastest lap of the race as a whole.
20.3.
So, you're
so at this moment, I think he's lapping at least half second faster than Joe does.
It's at least a couple of tenths, because Joe's quickest lap, I believe, was a 0.3, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, but I don't think he's still lapping on
Oh, absolutely
point
not.
threes.
Just in case he is somehow,
Yeah, yeah.
it's still a couple attempts. So you would be right with the gap is growing as we expected, but how much? When that comes into pitting, how much is that gap going to be? You see Bambino closing in a little bit on BR4 right now, but not enough. Even though he doesn't really have to worry about BR4 at this point.
You saw Bambino pitting on lap 16, I think.
It was
So
something
Joe
like that,
now
yeah.
has 15, maybe 14 remaining laps. I think that it's already too
And there
late.
he goes.
Oh, he's pitting right
There you
now.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, your point. That it's very well made. He's going in now, so now we get a really good idea of what we've just witnessed for the last couple of laps. Bambino coming through the second, the second to last, now the last corner down the straight. How far in front of Joe is he? Oh, he's going to be a little bit further in front of Joe if he's continuing the fastest lap every time, that's for sure. Joe's coming out the pits now.
Let's see how far behind.
3 seconds at the moment. 3.2. He's out the pits. 3.8. It's up over 4 seconds again.
About 5, maybe.
It was just about.
With his, the tires are still cold. He's gonna lose a few tenths.
Yeah.
Until he gets in the third sector.
And then you can see the time start to come back down.
You see how hard it is to turn the car when the tires are not up in temperature.
Yeah, that is.
He had massive understeer in that hairpin over there.
You see, yeah, no, that's fair. I was too busy watching the battle between Jack and Jack, which has totally not been a nightmare to commentate the entire season. Which the Alpine eventually won. Jacko's just not having a nice time on those hard tyres. Coming to the end of that stint, he has to go in now, I think. This has to be his final lap.
Yeah, unless he's just hoping for a safety car, but...
That becomes a very dangerous game to play, because when do you stop playing that game? I guess we're about to find out when he stops playing that game. Yellow flag in Sector 2, who is it?
It's don't
Mildy.
think that's something to be concerned about. I think he just lost the car over there, but I don't think he has any damage.
No, he doesn't. He almost lost the car again coming down the hill. But he is losing a bunch of time now, so we've got, 3 or 4 battles on the grid now? Rigo flying after BR4. But BR4 on the medium tyres should open up a gap eventually. Yalo a little bit too far back to be involved.
Also, BR4 is about 5.5 to 6 seconds from Jack. So third place on the fresher tires looks pretty possible, you know?
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think it depends how quickly you can get through Elite. Because obviously, when you're going, don't forget that's still a Constructors title battle, Elite versus BR4. Well, will be unless BR4 can get, unless Elite defends against BR4 here. And if he does that well, then I think that's decided today. But Elite's not going to lay down for him, I think is my point here.
Yeah, well, the good thing for him is that both drivers in front of him, they're not in a DRS train. So once he gets a DRS, I think he's going to be able fairly easy to pass through them.
Yeah, and you see, Jacko's just got 5 seconds to speed in the pit lane. So there's one. It is really a case of how quickly can BR4 get through Elite. That is just the case here. He will beat him regardless because of penalties, but I think BR4 might be looking for something bigger than that.
Joe also in the 3 seconds gap now, 3.9. So he's making improvement.
Yeah, we saw
we
on the.
We may see a battle in between him and Big Bambino at the end of the race. Probably
I'm hoping
5
so.
laps or something. Yeah, me too.
I'm hoping so. It gives us some sort of action we haven't had so far this race. But Joe set a lap, I believe, 3 tenths quicker than Bambino on the prior laps because they both had set fastest laps on the lap before.
Yeah.
Lee picking up another 3, so our question as to whether or not penalties where BR4 would beat Elite was mute now. Elite got 6 seconds, and
6 seconds.
yeah,
Rico
you
has
up.
8 behind him. I think he's pretty safe.
Yeah, BR4 is going to get 4th at the very least. The real question is, can he put himself on the podium? He's going to get himself DRS on Elite here. He's going to have to get Elite on the next lap, I think. Maybe lap or 2, just to give himself a real nice shot at Jack. But I think we might be in a similar situation to Joe and Bambino. Albeit Joe being a little bit closer.
I gotta mention that BR4 has already 2 warnings, so he has to be careful about that
He's
too.
going to go to the inside here. Joe gets 3 seconds. Oh, well, that throws things. I think that might just throw things definitely in Bambino's favour, provided he doesn't make a mistake, as BR4 gets past Elite very easily. Makes an easy move into the hairpin, and that's pretty nice of BR4.
You know what? We didn't ask the guys what's going on with the weather, because it seems like it's getting very cloudy, but I don't know if that's a case of if we have raining in the last laps, or is that overcast?
Didn't check myself, so I guess we're just gonna have to eagerly await some droplets. Otherwise, we're just gonna continue as we are. I think BR4 is about to just break away from Elite quite easily, and Rigo span it, by the way, on the last lap. Oh, and we get that one on stream where he just loses the car entirely, and is in the gravel. He's in the deep gravel as well, like.
Yeah, that's gonna cost him a lot of time, many places.
Certainly cost him
Summit
one.
is gonna. Oh, he's going. He's gonna.
Rigo got 5 seconds of speed in the pit. What is Rigo doing? That's what Rigo's
he's
doing.
Frustrated.
Oh, Millsy's retired from the pit in the pits. Well, I don't think he's retired in the pits. Yeah, he is.
Oh wow.
Jacko and Samet. What's happened here? Samet span it. Wow. Okay, so that's another one. So we're down to 11. Samet just span. More than half the grid has penalties now. We're down to 11. 5 people retired in the pits. For whatever reason.
That's crazy.
Rigo looked to be going extremely well there as well, and then just...
I know. I mean, he had 8 seconds penalty, so...
Everyone
I know
around
that
him,
it can
though,
be frustrating, but still, he was gonna get some points.
He was going to get some good points, probably a top 6. I think everyone around him's got too much to have actually worried him. Millsy also retiring. But then again, Millsy didn't have the greatest day I've ever seen. As for this race, BR4 now within 3 seconds of Jack, 2.8. That is going to come down. The gap in front between Joe and Bambino as well, 2.3. But that penalty is going to cost Joe dearly.
Yep.
He got that
Even if he's able to pass,
I don't think he breaks 3
gonna,
seconds. I think it might be too late at that point. I don't know. I would love to see it. I would love to see him try, but I don't think he has it in him.
Let me see if Bambino has any warnings.
Oh, Samet's out. He's in the pits lane as well, so we're down 6. As
Wait, why?
what?
He was getting a point. Why did he retire?
I'm not entirely sure. I think he was just annoyed after spinning at turn 1. He did do that on the lap where he retired. So
It doesn't matter though. He was still getting a point. He was 10th.
Oh.
Unless he had damage or something, but anyways.
Gave up on it.
So everybody on the grid right now, they're all in the points.
Yeah,
I hope we
person.
don't see any more DNFs.
It might still be possible. Joe just gained an extra 0.5 of a second, by the way. Joe is flying. He is
right now.
really closing that gap down. I think he's stepped up an extra level, knowing that he got himself a penalty and threw his own win in jeopardy, let's be honest.
Yeah, so he probably is going all in right now.
Yeah, that would make sense. BR4 not quite on the same level as all in as Joe is, but at the same time.
Big Bambino has a little bit more more battery than Joe does, so I think he's gonna be able to at least fight him, try to defend. But we'll see pretty soon.
Also, BR4 now with just about the 2-second mark on Jack. We might have a couple of battles come the end of this race, I think.
Yeah.
Both the ones on the hards pit at the same time, both the ones on the mediums pit at the same time. So we're in pretty much identical situations, just for different places on the grid.
Yep.
If you was to remove Joe's 3-second penalty, would be pretty much identical situations. But yeah, no, that is a penalty that Joe should not have got. But especially when you're fighting for a lead of a race, I feel like that's just careless.
And also, as I told you, BR4 has also 2 warnings, so he has to be careful with Jack in front of me.
That's true. He is closing it down. We can see that he's still got about 8 laps to go, or 7 or 8 laps left on the clock. But you know, I think it's getting to the point where, well, not desperation yet. Well, it might be complete desperation for Joe, but BR4 has a little bit more time just to pick his spot, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's 1.5. Jack is going to be in a battle. That we know. Whether or not he's going to win that battle is something we'll find out in about 7 laps' time, I guess. But he's definitely going to be...
Jack has almost double the battery that BR4 does, so
he's gonna need it. He's gonna need it. BR4 was momentarily in DRS range. He's gonna survive a little bit longer.
I think he's gonna get the second DRS on the back straight.
Possibly. Joe also almost in DRS range, but he's losing time, not gaining time. And same with BR4 actually. Not gaining time down the straight, even though he's on supposedly superior tires.
Let's see how it goes.
He's not going to get that DRS. He's a little bit too far back still, just within the 10th of a second. It's just not close enough, and he's running out of battery at this point as well to actually do it.
I think both used a lot of battery. I think Jack used half of his battery to just stay in front, outside the DRS, I mean.
Yeah, and all for naught, because BR4 is well within that DRS range now. Did drop below 9/10 of a second a minute ago, but will he stay within?
What's going on with Joe?
Joe's just not doing anything. Joe's seemingly content with where he is. But BR4 is going to pick a battle. Here we go. We're about to see BR4 versus Jack. Jack is losing his grip. It's about 0.4 of a second. DRS down the straight should make this one very interesting.
I don't think he's gonna make a move on this this lap. He's not using his battery at all, so...
No, he's not. That is true, so he's just gonna sit here and take the DRS, hope to close the gap a little bit. He does get it to about 0.5 a second, but it's nothing special, that's for sure. Going through the corners, Jack still had a little bit of an advantage. He did until turn 3. He does get it back on turn 4, and it's 0.5 a second. BR4 still sticks behind and doesn't use any of his battery down the straight. And they're still split by about 0.5 a second. Nothing really moving between the two of them right now. Joe's still losing time. And
Joe ran out of battery. He only has 8%, while Bambino has over 30. I think that's the issue, so he can push and get those... Oh, he almost lost the car over there. That's gonna be...
Game over.
I think that's game over for
I think that,
Joe.
yeah, you're right. 2 seconds now to split the gap, plus the 3 seconds for the track limit warning as well. I don't think there's a way back there for Joe. He needs a second a lap.
Yeah, I think he just has to sit back and relax for the rest of the race. I don't think that in 4 laps can do anything about this.
I don't think Joe can do anything about it. Bambino obviously can. He has to keep his ball. BR4 with the DRS, just about 0.4 of a second. He is getting closer. Jack has now got 13% less battery than BR4 as well. So BR4 in a superior position by quite a distance, but still just behind. You'll see the flashing red light there on the Alpine,
Yep.
and he should be ready to go on the next lap, I think, BR4.
I think that he has to make a move on this lap because his tires are gonna start falling off,
Yeah.
and I think every lap is gonna be harder to overtake.
I think he goes down the straight when you go back.
Yeah.
When we go down onto the home straight here, I think that's when he makes it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he knows that, but I think that he's trying to get as close as possible on the main straight to make a comfortable overtake without risking anything.
You might be right there. You might be right. He has got within a quarter of a second as well. 2/10 split the two. I did for a moment. They go through the second to last.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Much closer this time. I think that this is gonna be easy for him.
BR4 just put on the battery a little bit, lets it off of the corner, and here comes the battery and the DRS, and quite frankly, Jack stood no chance. No chance there. 13 seconds,
Yep.
so Joe's penalty is.
Overtake.
But yeah, I think BR4 lead just has enough in the tank now just to clear off into the distance.
I think that now that he has clean air, I think that he's gonna open up the gap. But I think that's game for us. I don't see anybody else that are in a second. I don't think we have any other battles.
That is true. Jack's the only one left. If Jack can manage to pull something, quite literally out of his arse, but I don't think he can. I think BR4 should be able to take care of that. We still do have the prospect with 3 laps left of BR4 picking up that third warning. That is still a prospect. That could throw the podium's position back. But
definitely.
As for right now, I'm not entirely sure if we are going to be able to do it.
No, BR4 looks very comfortable. I think now he's out of the DRS, so I think it's going to be easier for him to conserve his remaining of the race, not get a third warning or make a mistake.
Yeah, it's very much in the exact same position Bambino's in. It's just a case of as safe as you can from this point onwards, I think. What's the penalties looking like in yellow code?
Let me check.
That 5-car span.
So the Red Bull has 6 seconds of penalties, and then Yellow has 3. Jag and Jaco have 5 each, and J Ray has 3.
So no real movement happening there either.
Nope.
Yeah, alright. Well, on lap 31, Joe is slowly closing that gap back in. I think he left it way too late. He might have to go for it all, and yeah, Joe is going for it all. There goes the battery on. He goes down the straight, it tries to close it in a little bit more, does just that, under 1.4 now. He's got to get something. He's got to force something.
I think Bambino doesn't care anymore. He doesn't touch his battery. He knows that he has this in his pocket. He just has to not make a mistake or something.
Yeah, that's fair. If I'm Joe, though, I'm absolutely full-blown balls to the wall here, considering I know that Bambino is liable for a mistake. He has been so far this season. Maybe if you put the pressure on him, he might make one, and you can get one, you might be able to get another. But it's looking extremely bleak.
Yeah.
I don't think there's an awful lot left that can be done here.
But then you're also risking your own race, because you're already on 13 laps mediums.
That's true.
Comfortable on the second place. He knows that it's almost impossible to get the win, to get the first place here, so...
He does have a 13 second, well, technically a 10, but the number there is 13.
Yeah.
Does he have enough? Like, does he have enough there where he could realistically afford a spin? That's the thing. Maybe you just go balls
Uh,
out and think, well, I've got 10 seconds to play with here. Maybe I can actually
yeah.
afford a spin.
I think he does. I mean, if he starts done crazy overheat, that is gonna cost him another 10 seconds in the rest of the lap. I think that he
He's
definitely
within
has.
the second. He is within the second, but I don't think he's got anything. I
Uh,
think it's too
th-
late.
this is also the last lap of the race.
Lap
He doesn't
33.
have that straight anymore, so
He's got to pray. He's got to force a mistake now, hasn't he? That's all
yeah,
that's left here. So and he's also lost the time through the second sector here. So Bambino just holds on. Through the final sector, there is, what, 3 corners remaining. Is Bambino going to hold his bottle? He's going to go around the third to last, down towards the second to last, down the hill. We've seen Stavey here spin here at the beginning of the race. He holds his bottle through the second to last, down the last corner now. And to the line, he's held his bottle, and he's held the gap over a second to win very comfortably at Portimao. And I
very good
don't
race
think,
from Bambino.
yeah, there's not an awful lot that Bambino did wrong there. He got the gap off the start and made sure he made every single person left in the lobby pay for that. And no one really got close. And then you've got Joe in second. Nice return race for him. BR4 ended up on the podium. You were right in the end. Just about to jack, though. Under a second
Yeah,
between the two. Elite gets 5th, so I'm not entirely sure the implications of that on the actual Constructors' Championship itself. But it wasn't a great race for a good number of people here. I
yeah,
think we had a couple of good battles and a couple of people here and there, but it was mostly straightforward. The people we thought might have given other people battles were out very early on.
yeah. I think that it's a very good track. It's very enjoyable, and actually every time that I play in this track, there is plenty of battles. But the things that if you don't practice on this track, it's so easy to make a mistake, spin, ruin your race. So people were getting frustrated because we didn't have an actual DNF. Everybody
DNF in the pits,
DNF
yeah.
in the pits. So
I think it was one of those races, you might be right. But with that, I think I don't think I'm doing interviews today because that was just but that was as
you don't want to
straightforward
do
as
interviews?
that was straightforward as gets. There's not an awful lot to ask
Yeah.
there, I don't think. But with that, I think that's the end of, well, with it being the end of the race, I think that might be the end of the stream as well. And with that, in a bit.